times. Y'all know the vibes, though.
Ooh la la, we
She go.
Ooh la la,
We go.
Ooh la la, we
They go.
Ooh la la, we
Okay.
Ooh la la, we
Okay.
Ooh la la, we
Like, ooh la la. Ooh la la. Looking for M's like I lost a friend. Hop out of the bed like, where's the bread? What it do, people? You're now tuned in. Popovich. Popovich TV. That's the show. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here one more again. So if it's your first time, then please come on in. Because over here we deal with sports, hip hop, interviews, entertainment, Popovisms 101, and motivation. If that sound like something you can rock with, then before you exit and hit stage left, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, smash that notification bell. So when I upload the videos, you get alerted. You get alerted when I upload the videos. And if it's not your first time and you've been rocking with the channel, thank you. But you know how I do. And you know how I like to start the show. Tony, there was no other way. We ain't in game now. And we is in the end game, people. And we in the end game because since the last video, the other video I did, you know, Russia, they finally invaded Ukraine, and we've been seeing some of the images on CNN and the big networks, et cetera, and it's just unfortunate because I was playing but not playing, like I'm being funny but I'm not, and I quoted the Tupac reference when he was like, we got money for wars, but we can't feed the poor. And although America seems like they have nothing to do with this, as far as in the back office on the back line, I think they do. And people is blaming Biden if you voted him in, just to get Trump out, etc. And I'm not really the political, connoisseur, but I'm definitely not a Democrat, not a Republican. I look at them both the same, with the side eye, and I always question. You know what I mean? And so now, Putin, they doing what they do, and prayers up to the people that's going through it, because a lot of us that's over here in America and in any place that's not Ukraine, you woke up and today is a regular day for you. Like, I'm gonna go to the gym after this, motivation, hip hop, sports. I'm going to the gym after that, so let me come talk to the people. I'm having my coffee, you know what I mean, getting ready. And you might be doing whatever you're doing for those that's not tuned in. But over there, people is waking up and there's bombs dropping. It's, it's debris. It's what we going to do, how we going to get up out of here. People is going, to the border and trying to get over here. And America always want to welcome people in, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. And you got to say, damn, why none of that shit never happens over here? Besides 9/11, which people still say, Bush knocked down the towers, Jada reference on why. It ain't really no bars. Never none of that going on over here in America. And people like Russians is the bullies. And again, I don't know why he's doing what he's doing. He said, they're not trying to impose their will. Then what the fuck you doing over there? Like, you know what I mean? Like I seen something like trying to get the Soviet Union back. And again, these is all, high tech spy shit. And I read a lot of Robin Lullum when I was up top. You know what I mean? These spy shit and war stuff going on. But Gandhi was teaching peace. Yet and still we have the military teach how to kill people. You can sign up, go to the military, go to the army, and learn how to kill, learn how to take life. And then you think of, y'all see the Marvel, I'm a Marvel guy. And Avengers 2, right? The Age of Ultron. Tony Stark, Iron Man. He created, Ultron to be the bouncer for the world. You know what I mean? In case the end game is in the sky, like the sky just opened up and the whole army come down. And there's really nothing you can do because they're the stronger species, they're the stronger race. So in his mind, I'm going to create Ultron to protect us. But when Ultron was created, in his mind, he couldn't tell the difference between saving the planet and destroying it because he's seen humans as the people that was going to ultimately do us in. And you say 2022, we still dropping bombs, we still flying high tech power shit to kill humans, and that's what it's really about. And I get the old days of learning how to swing a sword or being a marksman. It's a little harder. You know what I mean? Hand to hand combat, getting up close on somebody. Rest in peace, my pops. He was a boxer. He was a fighter. You know what I mean? As opposed to just dropping Hiroshima and dropping bombs and killing massive people. And then with the depopulation, so they say, Bill Gates in the back just was in Germany on the 18th, talking about something else is coming. And I spoke about him briefly as well when he was on CNN because the shit he was saying was a little sinister. Like if they ain't gonna take this one serious, talking about the coronavirus, the next one when it pop off is gonna be crazy. This is what he foreshadowing. This is what he predicting. So I look at it with a grain of salt, as I send prayers to those that need it. And, hopefully it's over soon. A resolution comes about soon. But my thing is, why humans always doing humans so filthy? You know what I mean? Why are we still dropping bombs in 2022? And it's not World War III, even though it possibly could go to that. Obviously, it's just those two entities going at it. But it's like, do we hate each other that much? To where we always doing the most to each other? And you see the video for those that's in New York, where the elderly lady was kicked down the stairs in Queens Plaza and then hit with the hammer. And it's like, damn, this is wicked. Like it's wickedness out here. And like a lot of people say, we on demon time right now. So we in the end game for that. And that's really just my thoughts with the wars. Like I said, I don't know all the ins and outs and the nooks and crannies. And even though I seen little clips and I hear little information, I'm not tuned in all day like that because it's not really affecting. Even though one of the Ukraine is on TV, and when he said it, it does resonate. He said, "Today is us, tomorrow is going to be you." And you think of you say, "Damn, well, if they invaded over there and nobody said nothing," and then what can we really do though? You know what I mean? Like we put these people in power. You know what I mean? If war comes, or who really has say over it? We low on the totem pole because the people that's in power, whether we put them there or not, they the ones that dictate a lot of what we do and how we live. And you can think you got all the power you want, but a lot of shit is just really out of our control. I mean, at the end of the day, when the phone's off, it's only one to call on. That's a Rick Ross reference. But let's get to this other shit. You know what I mean? Like I said, peace to those people over there going through what they're going through, and may they get some type of relief and some type of mercy. You know what I mean? Because one video I said, I think some shots was going off, and it looked like a family that one of the ladies had a baby in her hand. They was trying to come out the car, and then the reporter was there. They got the reporters over there, and it's like, how the fuck y'all over there reporting shit's like this going on? And they're like, is it safe for us to go this way? And you hope none of that never really happens in the place where you live. You know what I mean? Well, let's talk about this other shit, which is ShaY means. And I spoke about this too briefly in the other video. Go check the other video out. And she was on the Fresh and Fit podcast. If you don't know who I'm talking about, I didn't know who she was even prior to this. And it just seems like, every other week it's a new story. It's a new cloud chaser, if you will. And I ain't going to say she a cloud chaser or not. I'm going to say I didn't know who she was. Obviously, I know who Tommy was. And she had the incident with Tommy. And now I guess he's suing her. And she started a GoFundMe page. And I'm not shocked in the maze. So when you put the beat on, rest in peace, Bismarck. But it's like, damn, like you doing a GoFundMe page for lawyers and the smear campaign for some shit that you did. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, is this what we doing? Like, is this what we doing? And this is what we are doing. Because she dead ass, you know what I mean? Actually, I think it's in that phone, the one that I'm recording on. I was going to show y'all the picture. But she pretty much saying that she's being smeared. Obviously they what's the shit that they always use? Mental anguish and psychological and shit, emotional damage. And it's like you a fans only model, right? Or fans only worker for whatever that's worth. And I know a few of them, so I'm not going to shit on them. You got to get it how you get it, right? Right. Got to get it how you get it. So no judgment, you know what I mean? White girls going wild. Y'all not on trial, so we not going to judge. But really, we do judge. We say we don't judge, but really we do look with the side eye like, damn, You a fans only worker. You went on Fresh and Fit. You got flown out to, you know what I mean, give some buns up. This time you like, yeah, I flew you and your friend out. I knocked off your friend. She said he paid 2,500. You know what I mean? And it's like, all right, that's not shocking and amazing. Buns been being sold, and that's one of the oldest professions in the world. So, you know, that's what some women gonna use to get over and to have a means to an end. But she said she didn't bone, right? She said she didn't give him no buns. The vibe was bad. Then they came to the Fresh and Fit show. And if y'all know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. If not, she got mad. She was obviously drinking. They all was drinking. She got a little belligerent, stood up over him, tried to swing on him. I think she connected a little bit. Then he got up, was restrained. I still didn't really see him hit her because, like I said, the clip that I seen, obviously the shit she was wearing was like a string or something, so her titties came out. You know what I mean? Like, you're jingling, baby. And so the block came up. So I didn't really see him hit her, but people was like, he should have just walked away. He should have did what he did. I say, women, don't put your hands on men. Every man is not going to turn the other cheek or take the high road, even though they probably should. You know what I mean? They probably should. But some may, you know what I mean, knock flames out you, knock your teeth out, black your eye. Then you could cry victim, but it's like, yeah, you shouldn't have put your hands on them. Now, whether, what side of that you fall on is GoFundMe. You was just balling. Like, when you was on the Fresh and Fit talking like, I get money and I get the bag and I got another bag and now you need help with GoFundMe. And again, I done seen some GoFundMes for some crazy, crazy, crazy shit. Like, you'd be surprised. Let me get the BBL. Let me get a Big Mat on the side, soda on the side, and let me get the BBL, get my shit done, my lashes. Like, I seen that on the GoFundMe. You know what I mean? So, you seen the chicks that got stranded in Miami. They was in the back of the U-Haul. You know what I mean? Crazy, crazy, shit crazy. They did the GoFundMe to get back home to Atlanta. And so I'm not shocked and amazed that she actually went that route. But it's like, all for what? Because you got flown out? Fellas, obviously when you got a couple dollars, like, you know what I mean, the way my bank account is set up, I'm not doing all that. Never going, you know what I mean? Like, may get a room, but to fly you out, and then obviously she put some of the receipts up, and he was like, yo, you all right, you got back safe, etc. And I know why he was doing that. Obviously, when you do fly somebody to your residence and you're responsible, if they leave with any type of, I was going to say, a disgruntled, you know what I mean, like an employee, you never know what she's going to say on the back end. And then the thing is, why is he putting himself in a position to where this possibly can happen? You say, why? Tommy been doing this shit for years. You know what I mean? And I said, I fuck with Tommy, good and bad. I mean, I don't agree with everything. Obviously, he do shit for shock value as well. Like, when you put the beat on, he definitely doing shit for shock value. And then to come to find out, he's an underground porn star. That's why he flew him out to do content on the OnlyFans. And, it's like, all right, cool. Getting your extra little side money. You see these joints is doing it. You like, I'm going to do this shit too. And if people is tuning in, then they tuning in. But you can lose everything. And that brings me to this. Like, she could say anything. She could have said anything. Like, he, try to, little Molly's in her champagne. She ain't even know it. Took her home and he enjoyed that. She ain't even know it. Obviously, she didn't do that, but she don't got lawyer money. But that leads me to this. Because I remember when this shit popped off, this was when we was in the thick of the pandemic and, we still wanted to get it in. So we was going outside, hitting the scaffolds, and we still was working out. And the story came out about MegaN Thee Stallion and TorY Lanez, that he popped in the foot. And as soon as I heard the story, I was like, you just can't make this shit up. And I knew it was bullshit. And obviously you don't know 100%, but it's like, what rappers is shooting women in the feet? Not to say rappers don't do dumb shit, because rappers do dumb shit all of the time. Then they rap about it, and then they go to jail for it. You know what I mean? The drill niggas, drill music. And we booked them for $100 million on a scammy scam, and you in the video dancing, you know what I mean, showing your shit. And then the feds come knocking on the door and they say, oh, come over here, El Bozo. We know that rappers do that. So I'm not saying rappers is the most smartest individuals in the world. But I am saying you rarely hear of, male rappers shooting females in the foot. So, now spin out, a little year and a half later, I guess, trial was supposed to begin, or the trial started, but then it was adjourned. And they're saying kinda, maybe, sorta, allegedly, oh, if the gloves don't fit, you must acquit. That his fingerprints is not on the gun. You know what I mean? And so I think she gonna go down with the shit, meaning that she not gonna come out and say she lied or she was lying. It's like, no, this nigga did it. Then on the back end, you find out in the back office as well with the little tweets and shit that he like, I smashed both of them, her and her best friend. Best friend, I guess, didn't know about it. Then it comes out like, oh, we both was fucking this nigga? Yeah, y'all both was fucking the nigga. And so that's why you mad. And tell him why you mad. Y'all mad, man. This nigga want to rap now, you know what I mean? Driving the Lamborghinis backwards and all that. The mad rapper, the mad producer. You mad. Like Rich Sherman, you mad, bro? You big mad to Tom Brady after they beat him in that regular season game. And so, the point is with ShaY MeaNs and with Megan Thee Stallion, when you deal with a certain type of individual, this goes for men or women, even though it happened to be two women, because we know that a woman could just hit her head on the desk, you know what I mean, call 911 and say, oh, this nigga blacked my eye, he beat the shit out of me. And then, oh, you going to jail. And then you got to prove that you didn't do it. Oh, but she got a ring around the eye, looking like a raccoon, like a three-peat, and you got to prove you didn't do that shit. Malice, viciousness, wickedness. When you deal with individuals that is capable of doing these type of things, that's not stand up, that's not, keeping it a buck, as we say, keeping it real. You can find yourself in a fucked up predicament, locked up, got to prove that you're innocent. And in his case, I'm not gonna say he was the height of his career, et cetera, but TorY Lanez been popping since he came out, so to speak. He got a lot of hits, got a lot of made a lot of good music, even though a lot of it sound a little recycled. I'm gonna take a little bit from this, remix this song, and for whatever that's worth. I like some of his music. He took a little hit. The momentum that he had kind of paused a little bit, because like, oh, you shooting bitches? What's going on? You know what I mean? And come to find out that she actually is lying, which I kind of already knew from the beginning. Now it's coming out that he was telling the truth. And obviously the thing is, if it comes out that she was lying, what should be the penalty? Because it should be some type of penalty, some type of punishment levy, just to set an example of like, you just can't come out and say anything and then not deal with the consequence. You can't tarnish and tear down somebody that didn't do what you're saying they did. And then where's the integrity at? You know what I mean? And if it's just a slap on the wrist, yeah, she's just a woman, it's not acceptable. And it shouldn't be acceptable. And it should be outrage from the women as well, because it make y'all look bad. You know what I mean? Even though it's like with the cops. I know the cops be mad. It's, just to give you an example. When you see some bad cop and we paint all the cops like all the motherfuckers raising, all of them just want to kill us, like, you know what I mean? We hate Po-Po, want to kill us in the street for show, like, you know what I mean? Kendrick Lamar reference. And that's not all of them. And you do need, when you see old ladies getting kicked down the stairs and hit with a hammer, and obviously police can't be all the place and all the time. They always pretty much come after the crime is committed, most of the time. We know they all not bad. And we know that you need law and order, because without no law and order, there's chaos and confusion and people doing the most. So women, obviously the fellas have been speaking up. Like, you see Uncle Murder, he described what he thought happened. Like, she didn't want to give him that wet ass pussy. That's when he shot her, on the wrap up. And he was like, I'm just playing, but that sound like what happened. And he was pretty much the meme and the bud of a lot of jokes because of what she said. So again, whatever he had going, that got kind of put to a halt because of what she said, because of what somebody said. And on the Islamic tip, real quick, like when somebody say something, even though it's not was social media back then, wasn't camera phones, etc. Like if you saying something against somebody, then bring your witnesses, bring creditable people, and then we can take your word. And if you're not, if you're considered or deemed a credible person, then what you say is going to have no merit, it's going to have no value, it's going to have no substance behind it. People not going to believe you. And I speak about integrity a lot. And if your integrity is intact, then you can actually, get some things done just off who you are and your word. When your integrity is shot and people don't really believe you, then you're gonna be hard pressed. See, you're gonna be like, nah, this nigga's a lying ass nigga. This bitch is always lying about something. You know what I mean? Like, you always lying about something and involved in something. And so, I mean, what's your thoughts? So what should be the penalty when it come to find out that she actually is lying about him shooting her in the foot? Come to find out he was just fucking her and her friend. You know what I mean? The ShaY means is she all the way out of pocket to where you wanna GoFund? And you was on this show twice talking about they set me up and this is a show where they down talk women and all, but this is your second time on the show. Not one, not two like LeBron. It's your second time on the show. So you know what it's hitting for. Like, come on, this shit is just the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. Real quick, let me give a shout out to my cousin Elena. You know what I mean? Today her B-Day. You know what I mean? My cousin Jerice, which they don't really rock with the show. It's all good though. I still love y'all. Happy birthday to them celebrating their birthday weekend. Shout out to my homegirl Jazz. It's her birthday weekend too, but she do rock with the show. Yeah, kid. You already know what it is. It's your boy, Popovich. Y'all was just tuned in. Popovich TV. That's the show. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, so we do what we want over here. We authentic because our track record is intact. Not because we killed 100 people, because our track record is intact. That feeling back up in here one more again. Yeah, kid.